Hello, Ron Ramsden here, DYB coach and also painting contractor for the last 17 years here in northern Massachusetts. Question we get all the time and I wanted to go over with you is estimating 101. How do you perform an estimate? What do you put on the estimate, and what is the easiest way to formulate an estimate? So I'm going to take you a step through. There's actually 3 different ways to put an estimate together. The one of them is if you know your production rates. So this would be that you'd have it broken down if you knew your square footage. You know your square footage of a room, but do you know how long it takes you to paint 200 square feet of wall space, cutting in and rolling? Do you know how long it takes you to paint a chair rail, 30 feet of chair rail? Do you know how long it takes you to paint a window sash, a 6/1? This is how you can determine this if you actually start a history of your painting. You start logging times and what you're doing to the minute. You can use a lot of online applications for this, a stopwatch, your regular phone, but you want to start keeping a diary of actual work being done. This will give you production rates for you. Production rates for someone else do not matter. The production rates that you do in your crew, if you have a crew, that's what will be determining your production rates and actually bidding on jobs that way. So if you're asking someone else what they're charging and what they're getting, it really doesn't matter because they're not yours. So that's if you're going to be bidding by production. Secondly, you can do what I was taught way back when is man days, because we didn't know any different. We'd walk into a room and say, okay, this is going to take me 2 man days to actually paint the room, and I charge this much a man. So that was a man day. Or if they walk around the exterior of the house and say, okay, this is going to take me 30 man days to paint, and I'm getting X number of dollars a man day. But either way, you still have to know your overhead. You're going to have to know, you need salaries, you need your overhead for that, you need your net profit on top of that. There's a lot more that goes into it just by pulling a number out of the hat of what you want to make per day. So, and then this way is a very nice, easy, very easy to read, and actually if you present it to a homeowner this way on a piece of paper or type up a nice estimate or using one of the estimate programs out there, you'll look like a professional. Especially if you can break it down like this, you'll actually give the homeowner, if it's more than their budget can handle, you give the homeowner an option to actually not just dismiss your entire estimate, but actually maybe take something off. Or then realize that maybe they were thinking it was going to be a lot less than it was, but because if they see it broken down like this, maybe they're going to just go for the whole estimate. And then you also might be bidding against someone else who just puts paint master bedroom X number of dollars, and then you have yours broken down this way. You look a lot more professional. So I'm going to walk through this one right here. What it is, I picked a fake bedroom here. It's a master bedroom. It's 12 by 20 with an 8-foot ceiling. We just did 8 feet only because it's easy to do the multiplication. So what we're going to do is we're going to 12 by 20. So right there you have 2 20-foot walls. We'll actually draw it out right here. Let me grab a different color marker. We have just a square right here. We'll have two windows, a door, and a door. So that's all we have here for our master bedroom. It's 20 by 12. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out by the hour of what each one of these is going to take us to perform. So we're going to look at the ceiling. The ceiling is going to take us a 12 by 20. That's a 240 square foot ceiling. How long is that going to take? I'm going to assume it's going to take 3 hours. For one of my guys on the crew. That's cutting in and rolling. This is all one coat, by the way. We're just freshening up this room. And walls. We have walls. We have the 4 walls. Don't forget the windows and doors are in it. One coat on all the walls on a 12 by 20 room. I'm going to say 6 hours. So right here we're going to take 6 hours to paint the walls in this room, one coat. So the trim, what do we have here for trim? We have 2 window trims. We're not going to paint the windows. We have the 2 door to trim around 2 doors. We're not going to count the doors right now. So we have the window trim, the door trim, and then we have the baseboard that runs around the entire room. We're going to say 2 hours to paint that. So doors, we have the 2 doors. We're only going to do one side each. We always pull the lock sets off those doors anyway, so I'm just going to allot an hour for that, for the 2 doors. And then this is one place where a lot of people make the mistake, and this is where they lose money on the estimate, is the prep. what are you actually factoring in how many hours it is to prep? And prep, I also put into moving the furniture, covering all the furniture with plastic. We light sand all the walls. We caulk as is needed. We spackle all the nail holes. We're going to look, when I go in for that estimate, I'm looking above every single window, every single doorway for stress cracks. I'm going to ask the homeowner if there's any surprises behind the bureau. Is there a hole? How many times have you moved a picture in a kid's room or something? Or then when you're actually working, you open up the door and there's a hole with the doorknob has poked through the door. We're going to ask these questions because we're going to have to factor all this stuff in. So the prep, we're also going to have to put the room back at the end, so we're going to have to factor that in. So we're going to add 3 hours for the prep. So right here we have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours right here. So we have, 3, 6, it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 hours here. So we have 15 hours to paint this room, prep and paint this room. So all you have to do is your hourly rate. So for this one right here, our hourly rate, for this one we're going to use $50 an hour. $50 an hour is $750. That's our labor charge to paint this room. Now we have to look for material. So if you know square footage of your material, most quality paint, you got to get about 3 1/4, 350 square feet. Going over a pre-painted surface. We're only one coating it, so it should go fairly well. So what we have over here is material. So in the wall paint, we're going to need 2 gallons of wall paint because a 20 by 12 room is about 500 and something square feet. 1 gallon usually covers about 3 1/4, 350. We'll leave the homeowner the rest of the paint. Ceiling paint's 240 square, so it's 20 by 12 is 240, so we need 1 gallon of ceiling paint. Trim paint, we're going to get 1 gallon. If you want to leave the rest with the homeowner, you're more than happy to do it. Sundries. This is another lost one. A lot of people don't account for what they're going to buy for sundries. You roll of plastic in the truck. Maybe you use it for multiple jobs, but you don't reuse it after you open it up. So you're going to factor, maybe throw $5, $10 in for the plastic. You're going to use 2 rollers because you're going to need a roller for the ceiling and you're going to need a roller for the walls. Even if you reuse your rollers, you want to factor them in because one of these times you're not going to use it. We're going to have a little spackle and things like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw $25 in for sundries for a room like this. I'm trying to keep it easy. I don't want to get scientific on this, so we're going to add $25 at the end. What does a gallon of paint cost? We're going to put $45 a gallon of paint. It's kind of a mid-range paint, but we also want to make sure we have a mock-up on that paint, so we're going to mock it up to $50 a gallon. So we have 2 gallons of wall paint, 1 gallon of ceiling paint, 1 gallon of trim paint. So we have 2, 3, 4 gallons. We have $200 right there in materials. We have $25 in sundries, so we have $225. So right there we have $950. We can paint this room right here for $975. So 12 by 20 room, for the basics, it'd be $975. That's to go through it, make it look great. That is 1 coat of fresh coat with 3 hours worth of prep. If you have a lot of water damage and things, you're going to have to start adding some of that in on your estimate. When you present the estimate, line item everything. Don't just put down what you got to do and a price at the bottom. If you could be as specific, you don't have to put each cost if you don't want to, but be as specific as what you're going to present to the homeowner. And also, when you go for the estimate, wear your nice work shirt, maybe a nice polo, maybe a nice jacket. If you can have a chance to change out of your painter's whites, all the better. They know you paint. You don't have to prove the paint. If you walk in there looking like a professional, presenting yourself like a professional, you'll be landing more jobs. Well, stay tuned for some more of our videos coming shortly. Please comment. I'd love to see your comments. I'll answer all the comments as they come in. We'll be doing exterior estimates. I'm also going to be shortly talking about what's in an hourly rate. So the breakdown of all the hours are coming up shortly. So anyways, thank you for watching, and we'll see you around.